Melania Trump, the wife of uh, Donald Trump, the current Republican presidential nominee, who is apparently set to become president in 5 days, according to some of the people that I personally know, gave a speech today, and it was a very special opportunity to view her because she usually never does solo events. Um, or just actually gives speaking appearances in public overall since this campaign started. Um, but it's always the first time for everything. Now, the main point of her speech was that we have to have criticism that is based on opinions and views rather than how people look and things they can't change about themselves, which again applies to looks. Um, and the CNN article which reported this, made note of the fact that her husband, throughout the presidential campaign, has made multiple, um, jabs at people's appearances and how they look, and I guess talked negatively about just their physical attributes. Now, I, for one, um, thought it was okay, and I say that again as a person who is progressive or considers himself liberal, but does not identify, as some hardcore member of the Democratic Party or even really a member at all. Um, but that's just me. Now, I will say as I watched that, and I just kind of, you know, read the article relating to it, there was a thought that came to my mind, and that is that out of both of these presidential hopeful couples, if that's what you would call them, which composes of her and her husband and then the Clintons. Out of the four of them, she is the only person that I really believe has been mistreated over the course of the campaign. All this stuff about, oh, they're bringing up things that shouldn't matter, and that is true. But there are things that we know that person did that, um, basically, I expect Trump himself and Clinton to get critiqued because they are the candidates. I expect President Clinton to get brought up here and again because he was president at one point. As crazy as that may sound, he's still. They can make the case for him being relevant, even though I don't think he should be. But whatever. However, when you get into the territory of Melania, a person who really is not marred by controversy, uh, at least to the extent of the others. I mean, the most controversial thing she's ever done is marry Trump, and you had uh, this that's one super PAC trying to shame her for the nude pictures she took at one point, and I just thought that was really just nasty. And sure enough, I flashed back to that and then the allegations of plagiarism at the RNC a few months ago, and it just really had me to think that she is so just bashed, and I really don't think it's deserved because I know from experience that a lot of the things we say about a person may not be true, and they can just be how we feel in the heat of the moment or in being bothered by what we perceive as their difference from us. So all in all, it really was an eye opener to just kind of see her stand there and um, you know address people who came to see her. But it does beg the question, and it also just dawns me because they were talking about this her first appearance. I said, "Sir," they said it's her first. I look over at this article and I go, the first is probably the last too. There are only 5 days left. You expect me to believe she's going to go around and give a speech over the next few days? I think this is her first and last, and it's a really good way, in my opinion, to end the campaign, regardless of whether or not Trump wins or loses. I think this should really be how we remember her. If she, provided she loses, if she wins, or provided her husband loses, if she wins, then this will be kind of a first glance into her as a orator. Um, but all in all, it was a good delivery, and I think that people have mistreated her this entire time. Thank you for watching, and have a good night.